Hi, my name is Bhavya Mangla. I am working with DNVGR. Today I am going to discuss a very interesting topic, that is customer communication. Peter Drucker has very rightly said, the most important thing in his communication is listening what isn't said. If we talk about mythology, there was a time when saints used to talk to the god even without speaking a word. It is generally said that in coming years, due to artificial intelligence, people will be communicating to each other even without speaking. But till such time, effective communication is very, very important. And the communication is important for organization to understand the needs and expectation of the customer and vice versa too. If I talk about clause number 8.2.3, it is talking about 6 important aspects with respect to customer communications. So let me share all of them. The first one is to discuss about the products and services that they are offering. Point number 2 is to understand the inquiries, changes, as well as the contractual related requirement. Point number 3 is to discuss or to have a channel with respect to the customer feedback. The fourth one is to understand about the customer requirement with respect to customer property. Point number 5 is to share about the contingency planning to the customer. And point number 6 is to talk in the customer defined language. So let me start with point number 1, that is to discuss about the product and services. So when we want to start any business or when we want to have a relationship with the customer, it's very important to communicate with the customer about the kind of product and services organization is offering. Like for example, a particular organization may be doing rapid prototyping, so it's very important to communicate to their upcoming customer about the services that they can offer with respect to that. Or maybe an organization is doing a product design, so they need to communicate that yes, we have got that competence, and in case they want, they can take benefit of that. Point number 2 is about discussing about the inquiries, contractual related requirement, as well as changes. Now, when the negotiations start with the customer with respect to the capability and the capacity of the organization, there are many questions that come in the mind of customer. So it's very important to have a good communication channel and a network so that customer can communicate all those things. Generally, it is said that there should be a single point of contact with whom customer can interact so that the communication remains good and it remains clear. Moreover, during the time of development as well as once the mass production starts, there are a lot of changes happen in the process as well as the product. So it's important for the organization to have a good communication channel so that they can understand the customer requirement and make changes accordingly. The third important point is about customer feedback. Now, these feedback can be with respect to customer complaints or it can be with respect to customer satisfaction. When we talk about customer complaints, maybe customer is not satisfied with the product or service that is being provided. So customer should know that who is the right person whom they can talk, and they should also be confident that yes, they will be able to get immediate response from the customer. So effective communication channel should be there. Similarly, for customer satisfaction, it can be good and bad, but in both the cases, there should be an effective mechanism. It can be through emails, maybe through some meetings with the customer, through over phone, or maybe any other medium that can be decided so that customer can communicate effectively with the organization. Point number 3 is about customer property. Now, many times it happens that customer provides different kind of property to them, to the organization. It can be drawings, technical specifications, samples, tooling, and there can be so many different things. And customer also wants to be aware that whether all those things that they have provided, whether they are in good condition, whether they are identified properly, care is being taken care of in case some calibration is needed, whether it is being done effectively or not. So there should be a proper channel which should communicate to the customer about the property that customer has given to the organization. Here comes point number 5 about contingency planning. Now, it's a real world. Things are changing so fast. Like just 3 months back, we have seen COVID-19 and how it has changed the entire world. Similarly, so many things happen in the organization. It can be labor unrest, maybe some financial instability, or many other things. So there should be an effective communication channel so that organization can communicate all those challenges, all those things that is happening in the organization to the customer, so that customer can take realistic action based on the communication that is coming from the customer. And coming to point number 6 and the last point, to speak in the customer defined language. It can be the way in which we are communicating with the customer. It can be with respect to drawings and specifications. Say for example, if the customer is Japanese, there could be a possibility that whatever communication that is coming, the drawings and technical specifications, they may be in Japanese. So either the organization has to translate those things into English language, or they may need to understand the Japanese language so that they can understand all those expectations of the customer. Similarly, there are different softwares through which customer is giving a lot of information to the organization. So organization should have that competence to understand that language, or they need to raise their competence. So let me summarize all the 6 key points that I said. The first point is about communication about the product and services that organization is offering. Point number 2 is about handling the inquiries about contract review process as well as the changes that happen during the entire process. Point number 3 is about the customer feedback. It can be with respect to the complaints or with respect to satisfaction. Point number 4 is with respect to contingency planning. Point number 5 is with respect to the customer property. And point number 6 is with respect to talking in the same language in which customer wants to. And when there is an effective communication, it is very sure that the transparency and the trust with the customer improves. The relationship gets better, the areas for opportunity improves, and there is a very high possibility that the business between the customer and the organization grows further. Well, in case you want to go through this video in details, so you can click the below link and you will find a blog where you will find that information in detail. And if you want to get these videos regularly, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel bhavyamangla.com, and you will regularly get update about it. Thank you.